This show's got a different tone. I didn't. Wasn't really.
Thank you for tuning in to Tackling Tomfoolery. I'm
I like it.
angry and disgusted. I am,
Your name? Angry and disgusted.
I am Malika Rogers, and I am angry and disgusted, and I am also a Sacramentan, which is a shitty thing to be this week.
A black Sacramento.
Right. So, I think it's 2 days now. Was it 2 days ago?
Mm-hmm.
A young black man, Stephon Clark, was shot by police in his grandmother's backyard. They fired 20 rounds and killed him, then tried to claim he had a gun. No, he had a crowbar. But he didn't have any of those things. All he had in his hand was his cell phone. But even if they thought he had a crowbar or a gun, those 20 rounds, most of them landed in his back. So, even if he'd had a crowbar, he clearly wasn't posing a particular threat in that moment to anyone who was several feet away and had guns. So now he has lost his life at 22 years old.
2 small children.
2 children and other family. I know some folks who are related to him. And I am sorry for them, but they don't have anything to do with my rage. I'm angry. I feel, earlier today I was talking to someone related to him, and she has spent most of this day crying. And her assertion was, I don't feel safe. And I think that's a resounding theme for most Black people, not just here in Sacramento, but everywhere. I don't feel safe. There is no place we can go in this country, and I honestly don't know of a place in some other country or on some other continent where we can go and not always have to be thinking somewhere in our mind about our safety. Is this space cool for me? Let me look around and see who all is in here. Let me look around and see if there's any of me. And I hate that I even have to go through all of that in my mind before I go into any space. This Blackness is so tiresome. I never trade this shit. I feel it's my privilege to wear this Blackness, but this shit will wear you the fuck out. And I mean, I'm so, I didn't address any of this on social media because I'm tired. Like the shit that just constantly happens to us wears on me. And sometimes I don't talk about it because it's too much. Like I don't want to flip my desk over at work, or I don't want to flip a person over at work. I don't want to just start randomly cussing people out. But that's how it makes me feel. And so sometimes I just have to get into myself and be really quiet and really still to maintain my sanity. Because fuck. I mean, and the shit that happens to us, we don't get to make mail bombs because we're tired of being oppressed, because we're tired of being gunned down, because we're tired of being falsely arrested, because we're tired of being sexually assaulted and or raped by law enforcement. Um, we don't get to just make mail bombs and send them to people and then kill ourselves or shoot up schools and then get a snack on our way to. We don't have those options. We're just, I mean, the moment we say something about our circumstances, then the response is, why does it always have to be about race?
Mm,
And all
yeah.
the other dumb shit. You sound so angry. Of course I'm angry. Who wouldn't be? Oh,
I
I'm
think it's difficult for people to understand the reality of what you first said about how it's heavy
mm-hmm,
being Black, but also I cannot imagine being anything else, and I can't imagine wanting to be with anything else. But at the same time, it is on any given day, and sometimes out of the blue, you're just minding your Black ass business, and someone says something or some shit
mm-hmm,
happens or whatever, and you just are knocked back.
mm-hmm,
It's like a gut punch. I mean, for
mm-hmm,
me, it is sometimes. Um, and the act of living angrily but joyously
mm-hmm.
is takes so much.
The precarious
But
position.
yeah, but your
Mm-hmm,
options are to just you either do that
mm-hmm.
or you James Baldwin it in a real detrimental way to yourself,
Yep,
you know?
yep.
And I don't know that anyone wants to make that choice.
Mm-hmm,
I just know that when I first heard the news, I was like, what? Okay, so yes, Sac PD shot a Black man. This has happened before. It's
mm-hmm,
not out of the ordinary. But then and it, initially he had a gun or
mm-hmm,
a toolbar. I still don't know what a toolbar is. I don't. They weren't saying crowbar at first. They were saying toolbar.
mm-hmm,
Okay, and then finally I hear the details. It was a phone. He was in his grandmother's backyard. They shot this man up until like until he was like a piece of Swiss cheese.
mm-hmm.
I, it's not that I'm surprised that it happened here. It is that I have sometimes what I call little mental worry beads, right? There's little things that I think that help me quell my anxiety. And one of those things was, well, it hasn't happened here, which is not to say that bad things hadn't happened, but that hadn't happened. Now that's happened. I already, before anything, before anything, I did not trust police. I've not had a lot of police interactions, but the few that I have had, by and large, have not been pleasant. And I'm talking benign things, like I was parked in a parking lot on my way home, talking on my phone, on my cell phone. This was years ago. When I got to my house, I had bad reception and I was on a call for work. So I pulled into this parking lot where the Big Lots is on La Riviera, right off 50.
Mm-hmm.
And I backed my car. I backed into the parking lot because I didn't want to be on the phone with my back to the parking lot and somebody walk up on me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking on the phone. I got my car parked out and asked me to produce my identification. And they go, they run my driver's license, and I'm like, what? Why? There have been some break-ins and there were some robberies in the business or some in that little strip mall, and they're just, checking things out. Mm. Um, you mean to tell me I, oh, I don't know. Was in my probably late 30s at the time, early 40s. Professional black woman look like I might be somebody who would rob this little rinky dink strip mall, any store in there, the liquor store, the donut shop, the round table, or Big Lots. This, what you, and there's a bar over there too. I forget what it's called. This is what you're telling me. I am literally sitting over here minding my business. So, stuff like that just is, I already don't, it's not like my sense of security has been breached. I didn't have a sense of
Yeah.
security. Not like my feelings about law enforcement officers have been changed or my eyes have been open. They were
Mhm.
open before any of this shit happened.
Mhm.
I just really would have hoped that it wouldn't get to this bad at this point in my city. And now here
Well,
we are.
I mean, I knew for sure there have been incidents.
Yeah, I know.
They aren't always public. First person who comes to mind is Joseph Mann for me.
Is he the one who got stabbed? Wait, they shot him because they said he had a gun? That's the
Um,
first person I think of.
well,
He had some
yes,
mental issues.
they said he was waving a knife.
Yes, yes. Mhm.
Yes, and apparently, I mean, he did have a knife, but it was a knife, and you have billy clubs and tasers and fists and
Mhm,
cuffs and the car.
mhm,
They want to run him over. When they pulled up on the scene, they were heard saying, one of them, "Well, let's just run him over." Before they even knew the situation, he saw a black man behaving erratically and just thought, what's the point of all the fuss? Let's just run him over.
Is that what happened? They ran him over?
No, they shot him, but
Mm,
that was out of the cop's mouth when they first pulled up. Like, he literally said, fuck this guy. I'm going to hit him.
mm,
And the other one says, okay, go for it. And they tried to hit him a couple times with the
mm,
police cruiser.
mm,
That's how the police get down. Um, and I just, we have this black police chief now, Han. Is it Daniel Han?
I think so, yeah.
I don't have anything bad to say about this dude. I don't know him. Lots of people I know him, like him, find him to be trustworthy as far as one can trust a cop. Um, Sac PD better and blah blah blah. And
Mm,
I'm not gonna say that isn't what he wants to do, because again, I don't know him. But man, this is not a good way to get that started.
no, it's not.
Um, di- I shit. I don't know. I'm irritated. I'm disgusted. Um, and it's the kind of like I'm kind of at that quiet rage point where you fall silent, but that is the time when nobody should approach you.
Yeah,
Because if they come and interrupt that quiet, something might happen to them.
yeah.
That's kind of where I am with it at this point in it. Not just specifically Stephon Clark, though it's tragic and I'm sad for the people I know who know and love him.
Mm,
Um, I'm sad for his grandparents. I'm sad for his children, for I don't know if that's his wife or girlfriend, I don't know,
yeah.
but the mother of those babies. I'm sad for all of those people, but I just, this is just indicative of a much larger, set of issues that it's like the entire country is gaslighting us.
It does feel like
That's
that.
how it fucking feels. Um, we're like, look, you're killing us and you're hurting us and you're oppressing us and you don't want us to buy a fucking house. You don't want us to have a damn job. You don't want us to live anywhere. You don't want us to live at all. And they're like, oh, Malika, it's not like that.
What laws prevent
Oh,
you from
God.
living where you want to live or getting a job you want a job? What laws are preventing? What laws need to be? Listen,
Come on, AM. MLK fixed all of that. Oh
when will
my
you be
God.
satisfied? You've created a perpetual victim class.
You people are
Mm.
just so angry. But that's what it feels like the whole country, the fucking world, Craig, the world is gaslighting us. That's what it feels like. Oh, okay. I said, that's all. I can't say anything else. I might break my laptop and I don't want to do that because it wasn't
Well,
free.
we don't really want that.
Um, they don't grow on trees, apparently.
Mm.
Um,
That's what I've
so
heard. I was hoping to pluck one
you know
off
what
of
I'm
a
saying?
branch at some point, but now I guess
Child,
you shot that all to hell, Malika. Thanks, Malika.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just
Damn it.
ruined your adulthood.
Mm, all of it.
So today, in spite of everything that's happening in the world in general and in Sacramento specifically, we're talking about gratitude today, which I'm feeling real grateful right now.
That's why
Uh,
we're doing it. This is an exercise in self care for us. We're going to recenter ourselves with some gratitude, the verbal gratitude journal. Get into it.
And namaste.
Mm.
So,
Hashtag Deepak, hashtag Oprah.
okay, so yeah, I picked some random shit for which I am grateful. Um, so the first thing is shoes because I love shoes,
Yes,
and
Lord. Ooh,
sometimes
I almost waved my hand.
sometimes you should just go on and just be free.
Yes.
Um, Shondo, anyway. Look,
Ooh.
when I'm even in the depths of some type of despair, sometimes shoes can bring me out of that dungeon every now and then.
Can't they do it? Can't they make a way out of no way?
I can be fat than a motherfucker, but I still wear the same size shoe. And I will put on that shoe and hold my foot out and smile. So I'm grateful for shoes. I'm supposed to be a responsible adult and buy a house, so I can't buy shoes like I might normally. Um, but I'm gonna still buy some.
There are ways. I mean, shoes, a good sale.
Yeah, I just got to be real discount with my shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my motto for 2018 is I ain't got it.
Yeah.
You think somebody talking about someplace somebody want to go? I'm like, is that shit under $20? Well,
It's
no,
not.
50. I ain't got it. I ain't got it. That money got to go in the house pot. I ain't got it. These days with the house prices, they'll fuck around and be living in the Airstream. Is that what they call them? Travel trailer. Yep, that's gonna be it. And we gonna put it on the back of a old car.
Oh boy.
But anyway, so shoes. All right,
All
Amy.
right. I am with it. I am with that shits. The first random thing on my list is breakfast or brunch
Breakfast.
at a restaurant. Hashtag Rudy.
Hashtag your dad, right?
The people may not know, but Malika knows the for real truth of this situation. Typically on a weekend, I am hard pressed to get up and out of bed with purpose. I like to kind of linger and meander my way into the day. The one exception to this is, hey, you want to go have breakfast? What? Yes. Yes, I do.
It is the truth.
I can be very easily, well, wait, what time are you thinking? Let's say it's 9:15. What, just 10:15, 10:30? Okay, I gotta go. I gotta get in the shower, get dressed. I'm coming. what, what?
Mhm.
Breakfast is, I'm easily made happy for the most part. It doesn't even have to be fancy. Um, it's belly and soul filling because who does not like breakfast foods? And
Only psychopath.
okay. And it doesn't matter if it's just regular greasy spoon or trendy hipster breakfast spots and breakfast sometimes. It is my favorite. Breakfast is my favorite meal to eat out. That is how much I love it. You combine that with, depending on a mimosa or, which is more my speed, 6 refillable coffees.
Yes, you're all about the coffee. Breakfast doesn't start for you until that
Until
coffee.
there's coffee. Life doesn't start until there's coffee. My day doesn't start until there's coffee. So that is something that I am grateful for. And it's just nice to start your day off with, obviously somebody that you are happy to have in your life. Because I don't eat food with people. I don't break bread with folks, with casual acquaintances. I don't.
Such a
That's
waste.
that's friend time. That
Mm.
is for real friend time. So yeah. Oh, breakfast. Breakfast is somebody else cooked for me. I love
Right.
it. I love it so much.
So my next one is love and
Oh,
all kinds of love. I mean, love is great, friend love and all that shit. Love your kids.
Agape love, Phileo love,
Oh God.
Eros love.
Hashtag too much church.
My
but
bad.
uh, but I specifically was thinking in this case of my black ass romantic love. Um, I am not the mushy type, at least not publicly. I can have my mushy moments in private, but it's
Mhm.
not really. It's not really my makeup. But I'm grateful for my relationship. I'm grateful for um, the power behind Black love and the fact that it's almost just for us to love each other. It's like an act of rebellion almost.
It's a revolutionary act for sure.
Black and to love each other fiercely. So, um, yeah, I'm grateful for that. That's all I'm gonna say because I'm a thug and I ain't finna talk about that shit ad nauseum. But I'm grateful for that shit.
I wanted you to expound it. I'm sitting here. Listen,
Mm-mm.
I'm sitting here like,
You was getting ready to lean. Yeah, you was gonna lean in.
say more
Hashtag.
things.
Yeah, nah.
Say more things. Aww.
That's all I'm gonna say. That it is.
Well,
I. It's relationships can be irritating as fuck, and
mhm.
and they can incense you. You can want to stab your partner sometimes. But when there is love, and I mean and it's mutual, and it's and the foundation of that is a solid friendship.
Uh,
it is some good shit. It's
Yeah.
good for your overall well-being. Um, so yeah, that shit is I I love love. I've always loved love, even if I wasn't being loved by some man or loving some man. I've always loved love. I love it for other people. I love it for myself.
Yeah.
Um, but this black ass love is just some shit that's different. It's otherworldly, and I um am literally here for it. So yeah, I love that.
Oh, you said it's otherworldly.
It is. It is.
I
Mm-hmm.
love that so much. Um, I just have to say before I say my other gratitude shit that I believe that most of the people listening to us know you.
Yeah,
Most
all
of
10
them.
of our listeners.
Right. Yeah. But I don't know if they know how profound that what this moment was just now, because it is not like you are, listen, I am not, let me make sure that I'm being very clear to anyone who's listening. I do not mean it. You ain't, nigga, you ain't loved nobody before. This is amazing. I do not, I wouldn't have thought you could do that is not what I am saying at all. What I'm saying is kind of the public profession of it, all mellow and like, yeah, this is some really dope shit and it's amazing and yeah, I love it. I love him. It's wonderful and delightful to my whole heart. Is the fucking dopest shit ever. And it makes me really, really happy. Um, it makes me happy for you. It just makes me happy because Black love is wonderful. And I know that saying that um, can sound crazy to
Right,
non-Black people. But
right.
love is love. What is it? What did?
Well, shit, you just heard us talk about
Right,
in the beginning what it's like to be us at times.
right.
So if in
So
the
when
midst of
you
all that shit, you can
listen,
find some love, that shit is solid,
some peace, some
man.
solace,
Mhm.
a partner that's fighting it out with you,
Yep.
man, come on.
Mhm.
It is the most amazing thing. And I'm very, very, very happy for you and super tickled. And we'll be at some point in the future talking mad shit to you because that's what friends do. Lika had told everybody she loved Carl because that's how I say his name. Um, I might hit him up. Ooh, you know what Malika did? She had told everybody about y'all's love. What you did, fool?
He
Look at
gonna
y'all.
change. He gonna change his rating on Apple Podcast.
One.
I mean, I gave it a 3, but you out here talking about you love me 5. I don't know. I don't have an iPhone. I don't really know how that shit works.
Best ever. Well, I
Yeah.
do, and I don't know how it works, so don't feel bad. I have no idea.
Yeah, work.
Okay. I am on a more somber, well, a less frivolous note. It's not somber, it's just less frivolous than my first one. I am grateful for the process of growing older. Um, it let me be clear. It's like being Black. It's also some bullshit. Don't let me downplay that.
Sure.
But I really find myself in a space where I am less of the things I don't want to be and more of the things I do want to be in kind of an from an emotional perspective, a mental perspective. I understand myself better, which doesn't mean I always do better. I just understand myself a little bit better. It's easier to hold myself accountable. It's also a little bit easier to forgive myself for bullshit. Um, it's easier to show grace to people that you know are working through their own shit and are just in
Yeah.
their process. You know, they're working through it. They're not there, but they're working through it. It is just a good place to be. And I don't mean like, ah, I'm this close to getting this shit locked. Because the other thing is you realize really, really, really very clearly how much there's no locking,
Nope.
you know? I mean, you know that, but there's something about the space that I'm in. And I talked to one of my coworkers a lot about this. She's a few years older than I am, but we talk a lot about this thing that I'm saying right now. It as much as I feel like I know some things and do some things better, I also very, very clear on the fact that, man, listen, as much as I know, as much as I don't know, as good as I feel, I mean, as good as I think I'm doing on some fronts, there's so many more layers of fuckery that still need to be addressed and confronted and dealt with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, but I very much appreciate it and I like it and it has helped me a lot in my relationships to not be as sensitive, to be more patient, to not respond immediately to shit, instead take some time and kind of swirl it around like wine in a glass, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, like fancy people do wine in a glass. I just pour that shit and drink. It ain't no swirl.
Well, my wine has a screw cap, so no point in swirling that.
but yeah, I'm better able to take some time and really be like, okay, is this valid? What you're feeling? Or are you tripping? Before I respond, you know, not
Mhm.
always, definitely, but more often than I ever have before, which is extremely helpful. And so many, even professionally, it's helpful. So yeah, this whole life journey business and not being, you know, not being young anymore has its benefits in ways that one would not expect. And I mean young, young. I don't for people who the two or three people who have no idea who I am not 70. So I'm not saying that I don't mean old.
On this, my
Old,
92nd
old.
birthday,
Right.
I want to talk about my personal growth.
Yeah, yeah.
uh, yeah, that's growth. I said that in my Kelly voice. Is that her name?
I'm making the gesture.
Oh,
What
I
that
did it.
is?
Just were looking down
Growth.
when I
Oh, my
did it.
bad. That's
Um,
growth.
yeah.
We love growth. Awesome.
My next thing is my mama. I'm grateful for my mother. Everybody doesn't have one.
True,
Lots
true.
of people who are close to me have lost theirs.
Yes.
And um, I am glad she's here. She's not particularly old, but uh,
She fast.
but I'm glad she's here. I'm glad that I'm glad I can call her. Although today I called that heifer to say something right quick, and she didn't answer the phone, but gonna send me that canned text message talking about text text me instead. Text me, you old boy, you old fat. I text you. Too. That's what I said on the inside.
Living her life, man.
On the outside, I didn't even respond because that shit made me salty. But I am grateful for my mother. She is my only living parent. And even when she wasn't my only living parent, she was my only pertinent parent. So I am grateful for the relationship I have with her and that she's here. And I like that she is, you know, living the shit out of her life.
Yeah.
which I think is admirable and certainly something I aspire to do. I tell you what, I'm not going to say as an aside. I'm not going to tell you she's living her best life because I'm so sick of people saying that and I want them to stop it. But anyway, she's living well, and I am grateful I get a chance to see that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so, yeah, that's mine.
I think about that, how I live my life with regard to how my daughter sees me live
Mm-hmm.
my life. It is important, you don't modeling for your child or children never stops, I feel like,
I agree. It doesn't.
Um
Parenting doesn't end.
God dang it, it doesn't end. It's
Mm-mm.
rude.
Mm-mm.
And it just gets harder in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
You realize so whatever your adult child is going through, yes, you can be there. You don't have to fix it, but you also cannot. Period. You can't
Right.
fix shit the way you can when they were little and came
Right.
running and wanted you to pick them up and hold them and kiss them on the forehead until they felt better, right? The feelings hurt, whatever. You can't do that. And that is almost harder than when you can fix stuff and you have to, you
Mm-hmm.
know? But yeah, anyway, let me get on the whole tear. Yeah, it is nice as an adult to see your parents living a whole life,
Yeah.
a whole life.
To where you don't have to see them doing, the shit, the getting up, the going to work, the rushing around, the running the errands, to
Mhm.
get to see them enjoy the results of the hard work they put in.
Fruits, yeah, yeah,
I like to
honey,
be able to see that. That's great. My
that's
mother's been retired for like 11 years.
just
And
amazing.
yeah, and to be young still
Mhm.
and be retired for 11 years is even
Mhm.
better. So good for her. Yeah.
'Cause I'm sure me and my walker and what's the old people transit that comes to? I was gonna say paratransit, but that's not it. Whatever the little shuttle is for the elderly is gonna be coming to get me and dropping me off at UCDMC, and,
We're
and
gonna
me
pick
and
you
my
up.
walker.
It's not gonna be the old
Um,
people transit. It's gonna be the church man. The church
the
man is
church
gonna
ain't gonna
pick
come.
you up
Okay, that's
and
cool.
take you
That's
to work.
cool. Cool. Cool.
We got
I'm
to
gonna
pick
have
up.
my little assisted technology set up because I'm not gonna. I'm gonna have the magnifying thing on my monitor because I can't get the font quite. And I'm not. They don't have me with all kind of old programs because I'm not tech savvy enough to adapt to new iterations of how we do things. I'm gonna still be sending faxes.
It's gonna be
Faxes sending-
2030, and
Right,
you're gonna
right.
be
And if
using
you're
like
like,
Windows 10. Yeah.
right. I mean, I I'm pretty sure that's my future. So good for her for making different, more financially savvy choices that have led to her being retired for 11 years and she ain't but 30. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, exactly.
Come
Isn't
on.
that amazing?
It is absolutely amazing.
Someone asked me the other day, is your mother in her 70s? I was like,
Huh?
no.
What the
Like,
hell else that?
it wasn't someone who knows her. It was just
Obviously.
right. But I guess they were just thinking of their own parents, but it was someone a little younger
Um,
than I am who just has older parents. And I was just like,
I was gonna say my parents are in their 70s. What the hell?
right. That's another. I was just like, what? No. What?
Mm,
How old do you think I am, Heifer? But
mm.
anyway, yeah, shout out to moms. Yeah, bless your
Yeah,
heart.
cool. I co-sign. My parents are still, as you know, in this bitch.
How to, yeah, and
They
shout
do it.
out to them.
They be doing it.
It's odd. I've never met those people. And we've been friends for a really long time. I have not met those people. Maybe in my mind, I think even my mother has met your mother just
Huh?
accidentally. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But I've never She has a good friend who goes to church with your mom. That's all. But
Okay.
I have not met these people, but I'm not sure if I should since your mother thought maybe we were lesbian.
Well, I mean, that was Sharon too, so don't let that stop
Right.
you.
I don't know.
Come on, son.
Maybe she's like, oh, you still want me to meet her even after the breakup?
Hmm.
But anyway.
We forged a friendship, mother.
How they do it these days. Anyway.
Yeah, it's funny. I talk about them more than I think I realize because I was talking to one of my old coworkers online the other day, and she was like, "Oh, I miss your stories about your parents. I miss Annette and Rudy's stories. I feel like I know them." And then when Rudy came to the white folks job last week,
Oh, he did it.
impromptu, um, Nurse Sharon was in a meeting, and I really wanted them to meet, but she was in a meeting. When she came out, I was like, Sharon, Rudy was here. No, I said, Sharon, my dad was here. You missed him. She was like, Rudy was here? Oh my God, I'm so sad. I so wanted to meet him. So, like I said, apparently I do more talking and bringing them to life than I realize.
Rudy and Annette are
Yeah.
famous. They are famous.
Oh, yeah. They drive me crazy sometimes, but they are also sweet too.
Whose parents don't?
Oh my gosh. Oh, Jesus. But I'm grateful for them as well. So my next frivolous thing that I am grateful for are streaming services.
Oh yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen.
The stream.
I haven't had cable in a while on purpose because, man, shit. Cable is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is for real expensive. And no. And then it turned out I didn't need cable.
Didn't need it.
Because I can watch hella much programs.
All the programs.
All the programs on all of the streaming platforms. And I have several of them. And the only time I miss cable is when something like I don't watch the Oscars because, I don't have cable. Like the Oscars aren't super big time to me. I really prefer to watch it primarily for the fashion, but I used to go to movies more. And so, I would have some skin in the game then. If I don't have skin in the game, I don't really care. Or let's say a show is coming on FX or something. Um, and I don't have access to that because I let my sling. I'd probably need to get that back. But otherwise, man, come on. I come home or I wake up on a lazy Saturday. I turn on my TV. I go to Netflix and I just scroll until I hit like it's gonna be good. I prop myself up on some pillows and get real comfortable and watch shit about stuff I would never know about, you know, were it not for this particular documentary or perspectives about things that I did know about. Like I watched LA 92 last weekend, and oh my gosh, it was about the Rodney King uprising. I remember that shit very clearly, but it was like learning about it fresh. So good. Yeah, I'm a huge Netflix, Hulu, HBO Now, Amazon Prime. I also have Showtime through Hulu. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I never say, there's nothing to watch on TV. There's always something. Even if I go to my default, which is typically some sitcom that's not running any, I just go and pick a season, start from there. That's my soothing watch.
I wish Simon and Simon would come to Netflix.
Oh, wow.
What I need.
All about Simon and Simon.
So I think I'm gonna end it at this next one.
Yeah.
End it for me, that is. My right mind, man. I am glad I'm grateful to be in my right mind. Other people might disagree that I'm in it, but
Mm,
I'm in that shit. I'm in my right mind. I see a lot of people work downtown. Downtown is like, you know, the central location where people who probably used to be in mental hospitals getting care are now just turned out and walking the streets. Hashtag Ronald Reagan. Thanks a lot.
mm,
So I see that and I think about how the ways a lot of those people are trapped in their
mm,
own minds,
mhm,
and they don't have any control over that shit. So I'm glad to be able to think clearly, to know what I'm doing, to know about the choices I'm making, to be
mhm,
able to ponder those choices.
mhm.
I'm grateful for my mind because there's a lot of people who don't have their right minds. So um, I used to, growing up in black church, people always say I woke up in my right mind, and then as a kid, you're like, what the hell does that even mean? But as an adult, I'm like, I know exactly what that means now. And yeah, I'm glad that my head is straight.
Mhm.
That you know that I'm not struggling. That I'm not a prisoner of of a mind I can't control.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You know what's funny? And is it? And I'm not going to use that because I don't know if that's the right word. Anyway, I have the same thing, except I'm sure it will come as no surprise to you to learn that I wrote "clothed in my right mind,"
Of
as you
course
just
you
said.
did. Of course you.
I am very very grateful because like you, I work at a hospital. And on any given day, whether I don't work in the main hospital, but I work on a hospital campus, and I'm in the main hospital somewhat regularly. And even when I'm not, if I'm outside our building, you run across all stages of health situations, and sometimes it's mental health.
Uh-huh.
Um, that, and I just know that we're not even talking about people who have, mental health, like severe mental health issues, but a lot of people are struggling, you know, a lot of
Mhm.
people are struggling to find some semblance of peace within themselves.
Yeah.
They are struggling to be comfortable in their own skin.
Uh-huh.
Um, they are struggling with like just these scripts of negative self-talk that have
Mhm.
haunted them, year after year after year of their life. And they know they need to and really want to get out of it, but how exactly? Because the
Right.
negative self-talk tells you you can't, right? um I am grateful that, it kind of points back to what I said earlier about getting older. I'm just grateful for the bit of clarity that I do have. I am grateful that I am able to take care of myself because I am healthy enough, to maintain a job, to do the things that you need to do to
Mhm.
take care of yourself. That I am, mentally stable enough to connect with people, emotionally stable enough to make connections with people and have friends and and just enjoy my chosen community, um, enjoy those people and love those people. I am very grateful for that because I do know that there are people who are sad, who are angry. I always think to myself when I'm feeling like super raggedy and pitiful, low key or high key,
Mhm.
there's always someone who wants what you have. And I don't mean stuff. You know what I'm saying? there's always somebody who would look at your life and be like, God dang, if I had that,
Right.
you know? Um, and I really think about that in terms of just being, having a modicum of solid mental health, you
Mhm.
know?
Mhm.
So I had the same thing. That's funny.
Mhm. Cuz that shit,
Mhm.
man, when you see people who don't have it,
Yeah, it's not to be taken for granted at all. And if you work, like, where I work, you work downtown, there are certain areas that you're more prone than others
yeah.
to run across like the whole gamut of humanity,
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah. And then you look at the news. It's MFs out here blowing people up and blowing themselves up, you
Yep.
know, babies shooting up a school full of other babies.
Mhm.
It's just, mm, yeah, it's rough. It is rough. I'm also glad that that no one I love is struggling in that way.
Right.
Because, Lord Jesus, I have had that too. And it is not amazing. It's not, my hat's off and my heart goes out to people who have loved ones who are in that kind of struggle and they're just doing the best they can to help them. You
Mhm.
know. Okay, that's all the end.
Yeah. All right. I mean, this was a long ass mini so
It
what
sure was, but
we had shit
sometimes
to
the
say. Shit.
talking needs to be talked.
Just think of it as a bonus. Shit. You got extra conversation for all three of y'all who listen.
I
Thank
messed around and laid down and stretched out. I forgot I don't have any pants on. I think I flashed you guys.
I didn't even see. Maybe I need to look a little
I
harder.
saw I saw a little flash of hip and I was like, oh, what the damn it?
Just
You know how
pants
it is
on,
when you
dance
come home,
on.
man.
Yeah, I'm not wearing any pants either.
That's what I'm saying.
Uh, anyway. Well,
Brent is shaking his head.
Bryn, do you have on pants?
He does.
He nodded
Well,
his head. Oh, oh.
damn it.
Well, congratulations. Shit, don't judge us. Anyway, thank you so much for once again tuning in to Tackling Tomfoolery. I am Malika Rogers.
And I'm A.M. Lewis.
Tackling Tomfoolery is produced by Bryn Inman for Evergreen Talent Collective. For more information, find us on the web at www.tacklingtomfoolery.com, on Facebook at Tackling Tomfoolery, and on Twitter and Instagram. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, or SoundCloud, and make sure you rate and review the show as that helps people find us. If you'd like to contact the show, email us at tacklingtomfoolery@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 916-573-1065. Let us know what tomfoolery you're tackling. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you soon. Hey, fellow tacklers. We thank you so much for listening to our show. If you're interested in supporting us, we would be ever so grateful. You can donate to the Tackling Tomfoolery podcast at patreon.com/tackling tomfoolery.